Hello everyone, we're right here in the Expo in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. We are judging budgies with Robert Marshall and Bob Wilson, two legends in our hobby. This is our 5th regional championship. Robert Marshall, one of the best English budgie breeders, judging. While he does that, I'll show you some other birds. Blue opaline. We got a violet. Another blue opaline. Oh, I don't know what's supposed to be there, but we got an opaline. It's a gray right here. Opaline gray. Blue. This has suffusion on it. If you look at it, you see the neck, that extra color. You don't want that on that neck. You don't want that. Got some blues, opaline blue. Got an opaline green. Got a blue.
Cock?
Yeah, cock. I'm gonna tell you, like, you know, see, you got me, for as far as I can say, trying to take home a picture of the birds in the show and compare your birds to them. It ain't real easy to do. But once you get a bird on the top bench, he's at your house. Now you take him and use him to judge all the other birds.
All your other birds.
And they ain't got to be as good as him, but he showed you which direction to go. And you want to try to get them as good as that.
Has this bird got brothers and sisters?
The green one?
The one that you have on the top end.
Both they have brothers.
And you have brothers? Those two are brothers? And is there any other brothers or sisters?
No.
No? So that's, do you still have the parents?
Of
The mother and the father?
Of the green one, yes. Of the spangle, no.
All right. So I would be using that parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you breed it back to the parent or?
No.
Okay. Just keep breeding the same parents to pull out more.
Yeah, it's throwing some good birds, so there's some good genes there. So you want to get as much of those good genes as you have,
Okay.
because like you and I have talked before, all birds have good genes and bad genes, or poor
That's
genes.
one too. That ain't a bad bird. He just ain't got the power that the other bird has. But it's a good bird to work with.
And by power, what do you mean, like the size?
The
Or?
overall size of the shoulders, I mean, the width of head, the
Thing about male bodybuilders, how big they get across here and across the chest and everything, but they're still in proportion.
Right.
It's the same with the birds.
But it's nice and clean.
And keep the best ones of the others.
Yeah. And just gotta start with what you got. But what you do is when you put two birds together, and they're not of the better birds, when they produce babies and they can't produce enough babies better than themselves, then all of them go.
Yeah.
All go wrong. Don't use the parents anymore. Just get rid of babies.
The whole family goes.
Go. Whole family go.
Boom. See, one thing I've noticed here, and I see it in a lot of countries, in my opinion, people breed too many birds here. If you have too many breeding cages, even if I go to Daniel Ludhoff's, right? Daniel's got about 90 breeding cages. How many of his, at his level, how many breeding cages are his top birds? Maybe 20. The others are birds that are related and hopefully they'll produce something. But like Robert says, when Daniel even, he'll breed like the middle birds that are well related, and he breeds them. If those birds produce birds that are better than them, you keep them. If the chicks are worse, boom, everything's gone. They're gone and the chicks are gone. That's how he can sell so many birds around the world.
Yeah. And that keeps the quality up.
You must keep your best birds and get rid of the ones with fault.
And the ones that throw you those better birds, you hang on to them, even if they're not as good as the bird that you threw, because they got that inside. They got
the
them.
genes.
They got the gene in them. Because they showed you they got the gene because they threw something better than themselves. So but
Go ahead.
But if you breed them to something lesser than what you bred them to before, it goes away.
Okay.
You won't see it.
So
you gotta breed them to something as good as you bred them to at first that produced that better bird, or something better than the bird you bred them to produce even better birds. So.
Even if they're not the same bloodline, as long as it's better.
Yeah, but
Okay.
keep in
But
mind,
bloodline makes a difference though.
you're
Okay,
talking about
okay.
bloodlines, but when you have been breeding birds as long as Robert and me, it's really your. There's a few of the chicks are great,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are not. It'll take him like maybe 3 years before he has an idea.
Right.
Am I going to keep this family or is it gone?
Right. You can't. You bring in something that you think is going to help you. You got to let it show itself. You can't just
Gotta
put
give
it
it time.
everywhere. Because it might not be a helper at all. It might pull your stuff down. But when you pull it out a couple of times, you bring it back in to see what it produces. You can hold up
And what do you mean, bring it back in, like bring it back to it?
into the family.
Okay.
Yeah. In other words, I got these out crosses from Daniel Luthoff.
Okay.
When I first get them, I breed them to other birds that's kin to them.
Okay.
I still got other birds that's from a different line.
Right.
I don't put them out there. I
Okay.
put them into themselves and see what they got.
Okay.
Because if they ain't got anything, I'm giving them a good chance to show it because the blood is kin to one another.
Right.
But if I put it in a complete outcross, I don't know what it's gonna do. You know, but I will do that next time.
Eventually.
Yeah, next time I'll do
Just
that.
to try it, just to see how the genes react or something?
But I want them to show me what they got first.
Okay.
Because, like I put them together, and if I put them together and the chicks go down from what the bird I brought in, that's a problem.
Oh, so if you got two Luthoffs and the chicks don't come out as good as the father, there's an issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an issue then. Which one is not it might not help improve me any.
Okay.
So, but it might be good enough to put with some birds that's lesser.
Okay.
It's like you said when
But
we were
I won't
having
take
the
it and
talk
put
at
it in
that thing.
something
All the theory is good,
Yeah.
but it's a crapshoot. When
Yeah.
you bring in an outcross, it's a crapshoot because all birds have good genes and bad genes.
Right.
It's just do the right ones come together.
Yeah.
And sometimes they will.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've bred some birds over the years that I got from other people that were like one shows or they came from Europe. And the chicks, you looked at the chicks and you said, how could it possibly come out? It looks like a pet bird. But
That's
it happens.
crazy.
So if they throw pet type birds, try them to another bloodline maybe, of part of your bloodline. But if it happens the second time, sorry, you're gone.
Okay. I noticed that when I breed, sometimes I'll get good chicks, but like 1 out of 10 will be like super well, like would be way better than the rest. is that something good, or should I try to get everything like that?
Well,
One chip?
eventually you want them all good.